welcome to Age of Listening channel. Today we are looking at the fours in tarot. Bearing in mind, this has to be my mantra, that the Rider-Waite-Smith, which we're looking at here, is pictorially different than the original tarot, which is of the Tarot de Marseille, which focuses more heavily on the numerology rather than let the pictures dictate. I mean, they're a useful thing to look at, but let's look at what fours really mean. So fours mean manifestations, foundations, stability, structure, practicality, and formations. And apart from two of these, the other two, there's a slight fogginess about it. Now, I'm not trying to be dogmatic, and I feel the need to just say here, this is not about being dogmatic, but if lessons aren't learnt, then we lose lessons in history. History is being wiped out constantly, and there's certain things that need to be kept within some framework, and that's why I've started to discuss what the numerology should mean in tarot. Just my disclaimer. So anyway, where was I? So let's go through it then. So you've got Four of Cups, bearing in mind that all of this should be under the shadow of the Emperor. The Emperor is 4. He turned up because here was the Empress, who's full of free natural goodness, and he said, I can organise that a little bit better, and he decided to create foundations that were stable, infrastructures, practical formations, and that's really what these are about. So with the Four of Cups, these, well, four of all of these, it's a foundation where the element is applied. Okay, so really this should be four cups and a smiley, happy boy. Here, I'm quite happy with this one. Quite happy with this one. This should be a man standing there with his 4 swords, looking extremely happy and confident. So they all should kind of be like that, but they're not, because Smith, I don't know, who knows, who knows. I could go into that, but I won't today. So here we have, he's not feeling the love in his life that should be in the fours solidified. So he's being offered one. And therefore Smith is saying, look, you're not feeling as abundant in love with family, friends, home life, you know, your dreams, your creativity, you know, your emotions. You're not feeling it. Here, have this. It'll help you feel it. In a nutshell. Fours, I quite like that. He's feeling it. He's stable financially. It's helping him in his city life. We've got browns, which always mean earthiness, grounded, practical material success. He's the bomb. I love that card. It does what it says on the tin. Now over here we've got the Libra card, where we've got 3, which is creativity, just above his head. So he's feeling very creative. It could mean that they're fixed. It could mean that they're not. There's different ways you could go about this. But he's not asleep. He's in a position of power and grace. And I believe this is where ideas are being forged. Plans are being made in this time of rest. Because he's not excitable. He's not in his emotions. And I think future foundations are being prepared. I mean, note the building. He's actually in a structure. He's actually in a building, a man-made structure. So communications or strategies are manifesting within him. Awareness or intellect are at home here. And so a board meeting with lots of swords, possibly behind or in front of the board members, would be a great idea to put in. Then lastly, we have the wands. So social structures of village or town life or city, you know. These are the structures put in place that form the guise of formality, organisational worth. You know, this is the atmosphere of humanity where, if you've ever done a parent and governor meeting, or you've been in a boardroom with people that, you know, kind of quite like being one of those, that's what the Four of Wands is about. It's that energy of wanting to control, to manifest that structure of practicality. Well, we can't just have everything going off, otherwise it'll be chaos, won't it? No, we've got to have structure, we've got to have people organised. Everyone must have a job. That's kind of what that card is. That's why for me that's always the marriage card or divorce card, rather than the Hierophant. The Hierophant to me is not, but the Four of Wands would be for me. Well, I suppose it would be, but to me, yeah, well, anyway, it's a different story for another day. But definitely the Four of Wands. So here, you know, I grew up with the term feast or famine being a term that was used in our family. It's feast or famine, you know, or after feast there's famine. And this all becomes very, very clear when you look from the fours to what happens in the fives, because we go then from the Emperor card and we move in to the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is a completely different kettle of fish. Anyway, hope now when you think of fours, you think of stability and structure, practicality and manifestations, the foundations of the elements. All right, that's all I've got to say on that. Bye. Give me a thumbs up.